Hi, and welcome back to It Figures. Tonight I will be reviewing more Twin Peaks figures, this time with Audrey Horne and Laura Palmer, wrapped in plastic. So happy Twin Peaks Day, everybody. Twin Peaks has returned to television tonight on Showtime. I, for one, cannot wait to watch it. It's been a long time in the coming. Thought it would never return in a million years to TV, and never thought we'd ever get figures from the show. So the packaging of Audrey is exactly like the other two I showed last night, so if you want to see them in more detail, check out that review. So I think besides Dale Cooper, I would have to say Audrey Horne was probably one of my favorite characters from Twin Peaks. I've always loved her character. Such a cool character that she was, just a really great actress who played her as well. Alright, so let's take a look at the sculpt of Audrey. As you can see, everything looks pretty decent, except some of the paint here isn't as good as the others that I have looked at so far. Underneath the eye here is a little bit messed up, and there's a little paint on her ankle as well. But other than that, her paint is really good. And the sculpt is fantastic. I love her pose, just one hand underneath her elbow and her just standing there holding a cigarette. The paint on the cigarette is also a little bit screwed up. I don't know if you can tell that. But her fingers are white where the cigarette is. I mean, overall sculpt, though, it's really good. I like her skirt. The paint on the skirt is fantastic. Take a look at it in a little bit more detail. They did a really good job on that. And the sculpt on her sweater is also really cool. Love the details all the way around. And again, with such expressionless faces, basically just eyes and a nose, it's really easy to tell who she is, mostly just because of her body and what she's doing, her pose. If you show this to me, I would instantly say this is Audrey Horne from Twin Peaks. And I'm really glad she does come with a stand, just like the log lady did. Even though Dale Cooper didn't come with a stand, which is kind of odd. So let's bring up the old Figometer and see how Audrey Horne stacks up. Only real issue here I have is with some of the paint. They could have done a much better job with it. I would give the paint job of Audrey Horne, at least the figure that I have, a 4 out of 5. Sculpt looks fantastic. It is Audrey Horne. Love her pose, love everything about it. A 5 out of 5. Articulation, just her head moves, so that's the only articulation on the figure. Standability, she can stand all day long on the stand, so it gets a 5 out of 5. Now, we move on to our last figure, Laura Palmer. They could have done a regular Laura Palmer, but they decided not to and have the victim of Laura Palmer wrapped up in plastic. Now, as a Twin Peaks fan, this figure is a no-brainer. As soon as you seen this on the shelf, it was probably already in your hand and you were already walking out the store. So, let's open up Laura Palmer. Okay, I don't even know where to start on this one. It's one of the weirdest pop figures I probably have ever owned. First of all, it comes with sort of a backdrop in the actual box of these rocks, which is really cool. And you can actually, I don't know if it's intended to, but you can pretty much use this sort of as the ground for her to stand on, or to lay on if you decide to lay her down. So if you've watched this show, you know that they basically find her just like this, and she's actually nude and wrapped up in plastic. And that's what this figure is. So trying to take a look at the sculpt of this figure, the body itself inside of this plastic sort of cocoon they got her in here, it is actually a nude figure inside of the cocoon, but of course they have this tape that's placed in all of the right places so you don't really get to see anything. And as for the top of her, basically they, opened up the plastic so you can see her head, and that's what this is representing here. So you sort of have almost like a transparent, like flower looking thing behind her head. And the sculpt here, come on, this is one of the most original pop figures I have ever seen. They have sort of the shiny, almost looking like dust on her face that goes up into her hair. You got the closed eyes, obviously, and sort of the bluish purple lips. And her whole body is sort of a bluish pinkish color. But really, what is there to say about this except that it's just plain cool? Who would have ever thought that we would have a Laura Palmer dead, wrapped in plastic body. Now, the stand she comes on is a little funky. It comes with sort of a thing that comes up here and attaches with a hook around her back. And it stays pretty well. It's not like the best stand. You can see it has sort of the indentation on her for her feet there. Once you have her in there, it's not bad. But again, you know, you can lay her down on her rocks to where they found her in the town of Twin Peaks. Yeah, they went all out on this figure. I mean, it's a work of art, basically. I mean, I don't normally say that about pop figures, but this one, yeah, it's a work of art. I won't go through all the details here because she is basically an overall 5 out of 5. 2 amazing figures from Twin Peaks, and now I kind of really want all the other ones in the series, even though the other characters weren't my favorite characters, but these are so good I may pick up the rest. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode of It Figures. If you did, give it a big thumbs up like Dale Cooper, and I will see you next time on It Figures. Happy Twin Peaks Day, everybody.